Hello there. Today, I will explain how Kujou Sara from Genshin Impact works. So, you've acquired Kujou Sara. Now you can put her into your party. She has a bow as her main weapon, and uses the element Electro in her attacks. To level a character past certain thresholds, they need to ascend. Ascending requires specific materials for each character. For Kujou Sara, the unique items she needs include the boss item Storm Beads, which are dropped by the Thunder Manifestation on Juurai Island, and the flower Dendrobium, found on beaches in Inazuma. Getting to her boss may take a bit of time, as you cannot access it until you reach Inazuma in the story and do the related Juurai Island quest. Now, onto her attacks. All characters have 3 main attacks: their normal attack, their elemental skill, and their elemental burst. These correspond to the first 3 talents for the character. I will usually not refer to attacks or buffs by their real names. I will call them what they look like, so it is easier to visualize when you play. All of the numbers I'm going to show are not what you should be remembering. Look where my arrows point to on your own character's talents to see what damage that you will be doing. The first talent is her normal attack, used with the left mouse, circle, or B buttons. When pressed, she will shoot an arrow, doing this amount of damage. The percentages you'll be seeing are based on the character's attack stat. This is not the actual damage you'll be doing, just the amount of attack you'll be throwing at the enemy's defense. If you keep pressing the button, she will do a 5-hit combo, the damage dealt according to this chart. If you hold the button or left trigger down and release before it's done charging, she will do this amount of damage. If you fully charge an arrow, she will do this amount of electro damage. If you press the button in the air, this is how much damage she will do to enemies on the way down, and this is the additional amount of damage she will do to enemies nearby when she lands. The second talent is her elemental skill, activated with the E key or the right trigger. When pressed, she will teleport backwards. She will now have a purple spark on her wrist for the next 18 seconds. If you fire a fully charged normal attack, the spark will also be fired and stick a symbol down where it lands. After about a second, the symbol will explode and deal this amount of electro damage. If any of your or another player's characters are standing in the explosion radius, it will raise their attack by this much for this long. The third talent is her elemental burst, activated with the Q key, triangle, or Y buttons. To use this, you need elemental energy. That's these orbs. You get them by attacking things with elements. Once you have this much energy, the attack will glow purple and you can use it. When used, lightning will strike an enemy, dealing this amount of electro damage. Then, lightning will strike in 4 directions from that area, dealing this amount of electro damage. The elemental burst will also give the same attack boost the elemental skill gives. To increase the effectiveness and damage of the 3 attack talents, you need a specific type of talent item. Her talent books are elegans, which are obtained from the dungeon Violet Court, here, on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Once a talent is level 6, you will need a specific boss item as well, which has a chance of being obtained by refighting the final boss of the Inazuma story. The maximum level for talents is 10. The remaining talents that come after these either change parts of the attack talents, or are special mechanics for that character. They do not level up, and some are not unlocked immediately. The fourth talent says that while she has the purple spark from the elemental skill, charging an arrow is 60% faster. The fifth talent, unlocked at Character Ascension 4, which you'll get at level 60, says that when the elemental skill's purple spark damages an enemy, all party members will gain 1.2 elemental energy for every 100% of elemental recharge Kujou Sara has. Energy recharge is a stat that controls how much elemental energy the orbs give you. This can only happen once every 3 seconds. The 6th talent says that when Kujou Sara is dispatched to Inazuma by the Adventurers Guild, she will take 25% less time to finish. Next up are the Constellations. To acquire these, you need to obtain another copy of Kujou Sara. This can be done by wishing for her again, getting her through an event, or some other way introduced in the future. All characters have 6 stars in their constellation, with each copy giving you 1 star, top to bottom. The stars alter the talents, sometimes majorly. If you don't have the star, then everything I'm about to say does not apply to you. The 1st star says that when the elemental burst or elemental skill hits an enemy or gives the attack boost, the cooldown for Kujou Sara's elemental skill is decreased by 1 second. This can only happen once every 3 seconds. The 2nd star says that when she uses her elemental skill, she will leave a spark where she was before teleporting, and when it explodes, it will deal 30% of the spark's normal damage. The 3rd star increases the talent level of her elemental burst by 3, and raises its maximum level from 10 to 15. The 4th star increases the amount of lightning arcs after the elemental burst from 4 to 6. The 5th star increases the talent level of her elemental skill by 3 and raises its maximum level from 10 to 15. The 6th star has the attack boost from the elemental skill and elemental burst also increase their electro attack's critical damage by 60% for the same duration. That's it for the character themselves, but I still have more to talk about. At some point, you will be introduced to the card game Genius Invocation TCG. Every character you can play has, or will have, a card based on them. This section will inform you how Kujou Sara's card works. If you don't know the card game rules, I'll come out with a video eventually. Kujou Sara is an electro bow user in the Inazuma faction. That matters to some cards. She starts with 10 health. All character cards have 3 attacks: the normal attack, the elemental skill, and the elemental burst. Her normal attack costs 1 electro and 2 other dice. It does 2 physical damage. Her elemental skill costs 3 electro dice. It does 1 electro damage and creates the Summon Ambush. The Summon Ambush lasts 1 turn. During the end phase, it will deal 1 electro damage to the opposing active character card, and will apply a buff to your active character card. This buff will make the character deal 1 extra damage with their elemental skill and elemental burst for their next 2 attacks. Her elemental burst costs 4 electro dice and requires 2 energy. It does 1 electro damage and creates the Summon Stormcluster. The Summon Stormcluster lasts 2 turns. During the end phase, it deals 2 electro damage to the active opposing character and apply the same buff from Ambush to your active character. Every character card also has a talent card that can only be equipped by that character. Her talent card costs 3 electro dice and has her use her elemental skill immediately. While this card is equipped to Kujou Sara, if she, or an ally, has the buff from her elemental skill, they will get +2 instead of +1 to their damage, as long as Kujou Sara is still alive. That's all I think you need to know to start understanding Kujou Sara. You may not fully get it, but rewatching the video and testing in-game yourself will help a lot. The terms I substituted are in the description. Tell me if this format is better than the previous ones in the comments. Be seeing you.